The Russia-Ukraine crisis has brought out an interesting aspect of the strategy of containing larger force by a fleet of cheap and small boats. Although the plan is not new, and the USA, which is helping Ukraine to develop the strategy, has been at the receiving end as Iran uses a similar swarm boat approach against it. This Mosquito Fleet, that consists of small multi-role high-speed combat crafts which are equipped with modern but small-sized naval weapons, such vessels are cheap and are costly to the better equipped enemy. So what are the advantages of a Mosquito Fleet? Now these vessels can be concealed easily. They have high speeds and maneuverability and can sneak near enemy ships without much radar cross-section. The PT squadron used during the World War II would be the best examples for a Mosquito Fleet. Now the PT, which were also known as motor torpedo boats, were tiny and lightweight and were meant to engage enemy warships, sampans, barges and tankers. Now the PTs were the fastest boat of World War II, giving them an advantage against big ships. Now some of them were also equipped with torpedoes, machine guns and later on rockets. So the entire idea behind the PT fleet was that these boats could dart in, destroy the enemy ships and quickly return to the base. Due to their size and weight, the PTs were also good for reconnaissance and could slip in close to the enemy areas. In today's time, the same role is played by the fast attack crafts, which are small, agile, fast warships that are armed with torpedoes, guns or anti-ship missiles. Now these lack in seakeeping and all-round defense capabilities, because of which these boats are usually operated close to land. Now although they have a poor defense against aerial threats and have low seagoing qualities, if they are equipped with the same weapon as their larger counterpart, these small boats can pose a serious threat even to the largest capital ships. When the anti-ship missiles were developed, the fast attack crafts were reborn as missile boats in the Soviet Union. Now although these were originally torpedo boats, but later the torpedo tubes were replaced with missile launchers. In 1967, the Komar class missile set a notable example as it was the first to sink a destroyer with P-15 Termit anti-ship missiles. However, in India, the Soviet Osa-1 class, also known as the Vidyut class, sunk 2 Pakistan Navy destroyers, a minesweeper and various other vessels during the Indo-Pakistani War of 1971. One missile even struck Pakistani naval fuel reserves in the Karachi port's fuel storage tanks, clearing the way for the decisive victory for India. And Sri Lankan Liberation Tiger of Tamil Eelam also effectively used small boats against the Sri Lankan Navy. So how can these fast attack crafts be effective in battle? The idea is that a number of these boats move in as close as possible without being detected and make use of their high speeds to enter into the firing range, launch the missiles or torpedoes and turn back to safety while allowing the weapon to travel towards the intended target. These boats can be effective when used in shallow waters where cover and concealment is provided by coastal topography, or probably in restricted waters like in the Strait of Hormuz and Malacca. The effectiveness of the fleet can significantly increase if combined with other assets from land or airborne surveillance for detection and tracking. So, a Mosquito Fleet is valuable and can be operated in complex maritime geographies like Indonesia and Philippines, which have a number of gulfs, bays, coves and estuaries scattered across the archipelagic landscape. Such an operating environment serves easier force dispersion and concealment when deployed against a large adversary fleet. The United States is helping Ukraine to get the first 2 types of Mosquitoes with Island and Mark 6 class patrol boats. For the third type, Ukraine has an agreement with the British for missile boats. Now the Mosquito Fleet works under the premise that the smart one will defeat or deter the strong. The concept has been tested and failed in the modern era. Take for example Operation Maverick, in which most of the Iraqi fleet was destroyed by Iranian aircraft at the beginning of the Iran-Iraq War of 1980. The Iraqi fleet consisted of missile and torpedo boats operating in its coastal waters and protected by fighter aircraft on alert in the nearby airfields. This is exactly how Ukraine sees the successful defense of its shores. So what stands as a defense against the Mosquito Fleet? The US and Russia employed defensive tactics by using cheaper, smaller and older ships against him. In 1988, the US repelled the Iranian small boat attack with armed helicopters, And in 2014, the Navy's amphibious ship USS Ponce, permanently stationed in the Persian Gulf, was fitted with a new large laser gun that shoots these boats with 30 kW lasers. On the other hand, the United States Coast Guard has based 6 old Coast Guard 110 island-class patrol boats in the region, and they have been used to ward off the Iranian swarm boats. Coming to Russia, the Mosquito Fleet is not new to them. The Soviet Union was faced with Finland's Mosquito Fleet. The Black Sea is dominated by Russian naval fleet. The fleet's smaller ships like corvettes of Project 21630, Project 12411 and large patrol ship Project 22160 can fire long-range anti-ship missiles. The boat fleet 6 conventional submarines and air-based assets are enough to bottle up the Ukrainian fleet in the harbor. Against NATO, these smaller ships form Russia's own Mosquito Fleet.